Falling Down. Released in theaters February 26, 1993, and would go on to be released on VHS and Laserdisc by Warner Home Video later on that same year. And that VHS is the one I managed to get my big, fat, greasy hands on. Yes, I happened upon it in a thrift store for $1, and of course I had to have it. This distribution is pretty neat because the label on the cassette is a full-color sticker. This is pretty cool because this is around the time when distributors would stop using sticker labels and went with the straight-up ink on cassette. And if they were using sticker labels, it wasn't common for them to use full-color ones. Full-color labels was definitely a thing that they did in the 1980s, so to have a 1993 VHS to have a color label is a pretty cool thing. Now, this is a 1993 distribution, as I had stated, but the tape clearly says it's from 1992. So, what gives? Yeah, the movie was released in 1993, so to have a 1992 distribution of it is a little bizarre. Yet dating VHS tapes, well, I mean, not dating them like taking them to the carnival and holding hands and stuff. I mean, like dating them as far as what year they came from. Can be a little tricky because you can't always rely on the year that's printed on the tape or the sleeve. Most times, the year that's on the tape is when the movie was released or when the distribution rights were obtained. It's a lot of weird stuff. It's information that you're never going to need. You just want to know what year the tape is from. So anyways, yes, by my deducing, this is a 1993 distribution. And Warner Home Video would go on to release it again in 1997 as part of their Warner Brothers Hits collection. I am and have always been a big fan of this movie. I first saw it when I was 13 years old, and it was really my first experience with a quote-unquote drama movie. Or rather, my first experience with a movie that doesn't really have a happy ending, or at least an ending that's typically perceived as a happy one. Or perhaps it's better to say that this film challenged what I thought a happy ending in a movie was. Because this movie's ending is happy, I guess, from a certain point of view, but man, this movie is way more depressing than I remember it being, but still great and darkly entertaining to watch. This movie really hasn't missed a beat. And I never realized it before, but Joel Schumacher directed this. Yes, the mastermind behind the 1995 cinematic masterpiece known as, Batman Forever directed this movie, and I was really surprised by that. It had been a very long time since I had last seen Falling Down. I suppose the last time I saw it, I didn't know who Joel Schumacher was. The last time I had seen Falling Down was before Batman Forever was released. And though Joel Schumacher had directed many films, including The Lost Boys, Batman Forever is what he is most notable for, which is a little sad. But hey, if you make a high-budget festering pile of dog snot like Batman Forever, that's what everyone's going to remember you for. And everyone rags on Schumacher because of that, but he's done a lot of great stuff. It's just unfortunate that Batman Forever is the only one that really stands out. Or at least it's the movie that he's most famously associated with and or tied to. And many people forget that he also directed 1997's Batman and Robin, another cesspool of cinematic shit that was meant to be the follow-up to Batman Forever. But you really can't solely dump on Schumacher for ruining the 1990s Batman film franchise. After all, a director only has so much say when it comes to what goes on the screen. There's a whole army of producers that greenlight a lot of this shit. Yeah, they know what they want to see, and they push for it to happen, and the director tries their best to adapt whatever terrible idea it is to the screen. So whatever it was we watched when we saw Batman Forever and Batman and Robin wasn't all Schumacher's fault. And let's be honest here, Schumacher wasn't responsible for ruining the 1990s Batman movie franchise. It sort of all started with Batman Returns. That movie isn't that good. I know, we all loved it when it first came out, and we have fond memories of it, but watch it again. I guarantee you that you more than likely will not feel the same way about it. It's hokey and campy and hardly the sequel to the 1989 Batman movie, which we all love so much, and which is totally awesome. Yeah, it's hard to believe that Batman Returns was supposed to be that movie's sequel. The campiness of Batman Returns set the standard for the straight-up absurdity of the Schumacher sequels. You really can't blame Schumacher for the monstrosities that were the last two 1990s Batman movies. Because given the undeserved success of Batman Returns, the producers pushed Schumacher into giving them what they thought the people wanted to see more of: outlandish garishness. So anyways, Schumacher gets a lot of shit, but he did direct a lot of great movies like The Lost Boys and Falling Down, which is what I'm supposed to be talking about. So forgive my little tirade on the last two 1990s Batman movies. It's a topic that just really upsets me. So I just found it surprising that Schumacher directed this, and even more surprising and I didn't really know that until now. Falling Down is a pretty great movie, and upon seeing it again, I realized that it holds up pretty well. But there is something odd that I noticed. In the movie, the Michael Douglas character goes by Bill Foster, a name that he's referred to as many times in the film. But in the end credits, that character is listed as simply Defense. It's something that you would have to watch the movie to understand. I just don't know why they did that. He's Bill Foster. Everybody knows him as Bill Foster. Why isn't he listed as Bill Foster? Oh well, a cinematic secret for sure. If you haven't seen this movie, do yourself a favor and watch it. You will enjoy it. But be warned, it more than likely will depress you, at least slightly. Now what's interesting is that the Falling Down VHS is not a common thrift store find. But not only did I find this one at a thrift store, this is not the only one I've ever found. I had found the same distribution previously at a thrift store, but I'd long since sold it. Actually, I sold it almost immediately. Yeah, there is quite a market for the Falling Down VHS. It's just one of those movies a VHS collector has to have. And I'm one of them. Maybe you are too. So thank you very much for watching this little video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to hit subscribe. Take care out there. And I'll see you next time only on Captain Adam's VHS Pirate Ship.